My own brother dragged me to court over our parents' inheritance, but he didn't know what I had in my back pocket. My name is Grace, and a younger sister to Daniel. I grew up believing that family was everything. My parents, Richard and Eleanor, worked hard to give me and my older brother, Daniel, the best life in our small town in Illinois. We weren't rich, but we had enough. After college, I became a financial advisor in Chicago, and Daniel started his own construction business. When Dad passed away 3 years ago, Mom moved in with me because Daniel said he was too busy to take care of her. I didn't mind. I loved her. Every Sunday, I'd cook her favorite meals and listen to her stories about when she met Dad. Those moments meant the world to me. Life felt stable, even peaceful. I thought my brother and I were still close. We laughed at family gatherings, sent each other birthday gifts, and pretended everything was fine. But deep down, I had no idea what was brewing beneath the surface. When Mom passed away last year, my world shattered. Grief consumed me, but I thought at least Daniel and I would support each other. That illusion didn't last long. A week after the funeral, Daniel called me, not to check on me, not to share memories of Mom, but to ask about her will. He sounded cold, almost like a stranger. I told him Mom left everything to be split equally between us. That's what I believed, because that's what Mom always said. But then he stopped answering my calls. Days later, I received a letter from his attorney. Daniel was contesting the will. He claimed that Mom promised him the house, the land, and half of her savings for his sacrifices. Sacrifices. He barely visited her. When I confronted him, he didn't even flinch. "You've always been the favorite," he spat, eyes full of resentment. "Now it's my turn." That's when I realized this wasn't just about money. It was about years of jealousy I never saw coming. Court day came, and I walked in shaking but determined. My lawyer told me Daniel had filed forged documents claiming Mom signed an amendment to the will, giving him everything. My stomach dropped when I saw those papers. The signature looked almost real, but I had something he didn't know. Months before Mom passed, she gave me a sealed letter. She said, "Keep this safe. You'll know when to use it." I never opened it until that day in court. My lawyer handed the letter to the judge. Inside was Mom's handwriting. "To my children, my will is final and unchanging. Everything is to be divided equally, as I love you both the same. And Daniel, if you're thinking about fighting this, don't, because I told Grace to protect what's right." The courtroom went silent. Daniel's face turned pale. But that wasn't the only bombshell. Mom included a video message. On screen, she looked straight into the camera and said, "Daniel, if you're seeing this, you've broken my heart." The judge ruled in my favor immediately. Daniel's forged documents were exposed, and his lawyer dropped him on the spot. But I didn't stop there. I asked the court to make him pay all legal fees. He walked out of that courtroom broke and humiliated. 2 weeks later, I used my share of the inheritance to start a scholarship fund in Mom's name, a fund Daniel could never touch. When the local paper interviewed me about it, story went viral. "Daughter honors mother's legacy after bitter court battle. Daniel." He sent me one text, "You ruined me." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Karma did its job. Today, I live in peace. I've moved to a beautiful lake house and spend my weekends mentoring young women in finance through Mom's Scholarship Fund. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come from strangers, it comes from blood, but strength that comes from within. So, if you've ever been betrayed by someone you love, remember this: the truth always finds its way to the surface, and integrity wins in the end. Subscribe to SilkMirror for more stories where betrayal meets poetic justice. Greed will burn bridges that love built. Protect what's right even when family turns against you.